Quinn, better known as Colorblind, casting alongside Laz, and man, Call of Duty is back! Let's get it!
Man, this could not be more exciting. We get to start things off here today, and this is a good day for us. A bright early morning for me, a little bit later in the morning for you, but man, we got ourselves some Call of Duty, and it's going to be sick. We get to start things off, and we got ourselves a great bit of a matchup today, too.
Yeah, man, bright and early as ever, a full day of matches to come. 30 teams entering bracket play today. Only 8 will stand at the end of the day. And as well, you're not just going to be hearing from Laz and me today. Actually, we have 6 other casting duos taking the desk at various points today due to the cast-off event. You'll get to hear from a lot of different casters throughout today's action. It is going to be a fun one. But Laz, we get to kick it off, and it's an awesome opportunity to do so, as you said, with a lot of different matchups here that we're going to be previewing.
No, definitely. And this is the thing, too. Like, I mean, we starting things off here today. You can see us, our gorgeous faces here on the left. But this is how it works, is like you guys get to decide who you think is the best duo, and that duo gets to kind of move on and do things for tomorrow. So you guys are going to have to let us know. We'll have everything in the chat as well. But yeah, this is a big deal because we want to make sure you enjoy the show, but you get a lot of opportunity. You get a lot of different personalities, and that's pretty hype. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's a kind of a sick opportunity for everybody right now.
Yeah, no, and again, Game Arena hosting this event, it's going to be a fantastic one as always here. But let's not stall. Let's go ahead and jump on into our very first matchup. It's Newberry College taking on the Screamin' Demons in a best-of-3 matchup. And Laz, talk to me a little bit. Walk me through. What do we have in terms of maps today?
Man, it's going to be, you know, I'm just like kind of wondering what's going to happen here because we got a Karchi invasion and a Karchi again. So, I mean, but we start things off. We're going to be talking about Hardpoint. And honestly, I don't know how you feel about this, but I mean, we got a sick matchup with Newberry College taking on the Screamin' Demons, like you said. And the thing that's interesting about this is, man, Newberry, they're slapping right now, dude. They are so sick. They are 3-0. They were just running over opponents left, right, and center.
Yeah, no, they are a force to be reckoned with within this bracket. 6-1 on maps as well, and when you look at Screamin' Demons, they are 2-1 in pool play, so they're no slouch whatsoever, 4-2 on maps. So both of these teams, they are here for a reason. You can take a result look at the rest of pool play as well. Still, again, lots of teams to go through here. 30 different teams within this bracket. Again, only 8 will stand at the end of the day, and these two teams looking to make their mark early in the morning here.
Man, it's going to be good, though. But, I mean, this is the thing. Like, these guys are all starting the day off. So, I mean, this is going to be the first matches. Everybody's here at the venue. Everybody's playing against each other. And like we said, I mean, I think there's a lot here for Screamin' Demons. They're going to have to prove a point because they only went 2-1 in the groups. Whereas right now, Newberry, they were 3-0. So this is where I was talking about. Like, they've made a statement, and they were dominant, too, right? I mean, S&D, man, they were running over everybody. We're talking, like, 6-1s and just kind of pushing things over. The closest game they had was a 6-5. And they did lose that, but man, still, like, they have been able to either take dominant wins or close games.
Yeah, no, Newberry, they definitely entered this matchup with the edge over Screamin' Demons, and winner of this will go on to take on the winner of Imperial versus Sponsorless, which is also underway. But we take a look at our map, starting things off on Invasion Hardpoint, one of my favorite maps in this rotation here. And, well, there's only 2 maps in this rotation, so that gives you an indication of what we're looking at here. But nonetheless, Invasion Hardpoint will be what we kick things off with. And, well, let's not stall. Let's jump on into it. Invasion Hardpoint P1 is online. Both of these teams trying to fight for scrap. Let's get it.
Yeah, this is already a really good start right now. You can see Screamin' Demons, they already got themselves some nice control. Things are looking pretty good. And already now, I mean, Gunny's got himself with a 2-0, finally getting taken down, but this is looking good. Cell starting things off, and he's the only person so far from Newberry that's been able to find a kill.
Yeah, Screamin' Demons, they are looking real hot on this objective here early on, but Newberry, they are starting to show up in the feed show big. Those 2 kills will allow them an opportunity to potentially try and make their break on him. Zappio holding things down in P1 will eventually have to rotate out here. These spawns very favorable as well over towards Newberry's side. As you see, number 8, that's Eternal, already setting up for P2, trying to hold on for the scrap, but eventually do get knocked off, and Newberry looking to collect.
Yeah, this is already a bit of a good reply coming in back from Newberry. I mean, you can already see it starting to climb back a little bit more. Now they finally got themselves some control. KB leading the score right now with a 3-2. This is looking pretty good with the 2 streaks so far. Kind of waiting things out. Nice little bit of a kill coming in from Eternal right now. Still, this thing is neck and neck now, and there we go, Newberry. They're going to take that lead.
Yeah, Stokey trying to make his one-man band approach into the site, but when Diff is firing, you gotta duck, dive, and dodge. Newberry, the setup here is looking really good, but Rek has something to say about it. No longer as Diff will find the kill off of him.
Beautiful.
And it just turns into a blender here as the Screamin' Demons will find the kills to go, but Newberry still holding strong over towards this point, is completely dormant at this point in time as they fight for the scrap.
Yeah, this is just nuts, man, right now. Zapio now, they're going to finally get himself into this. He's going to capture this a little bit more, trying to get things brought back here for the Screamin' Demons. And this is close, man. Everybody's kind of pulling in their weight right now. Nobody's kind of being the anchor. And there we go. Another kill coming in from Eternal, just able to find himself some nice little bit of an angle. But now, things are getting neck and neck again. Newberry, they're not letting this thing go.
KB is going to try and hold down for P3. He's going to have to do a lot, and a lot will not be enough as the Screamin' Demons will flood their way onto the point off of the rotation here, looking to take that lead once again, as once we see them go through, it is so back and forth here. Newberry, though, starting to show up in the feed in a big way, getting 3 kills on the board. Still, those Screamin' Demons, they have these spawns looking to lock things down, and Gunny's proving that the name stacks. He has the Gunny to go, and Screamin' Demons are looking good.
Dude, Gunny is looking nuts right now, man. 8 and 3. He's able to find that double as well. Look at this already. So now they finally get themselves some good control of this. 65 points that they've gotten so far. They are looking reckless right now. And you can see everything's going to get attempted here from Eternal. Can't connect a shot at all. And right now, Screamin' Demons, boy, they are definitely being demons.
Oh, they are living up to the name, and then some will collect all of that scrap, and that is going to be huge for them down the stretch as well. We now turn our attention over towards P4, which, look who's got the rotation, is 1 and 3. Zapio and Stooky already setting up, ready to go for this next hard point to pop online. Newberry trying to apply some pressure over towards the new hard point, but it's not going to be enough, at least in the early game here. Cells will find the kill, finally finds the break early into the hard point, completely swaps things over to Newberry College. Now it's just a matter of holding things down. They haven't been able to really do that up until this point. What can they do when the Screamin' Demons are screaming down their face?
Yeah, they definitely are, man. This is crazy. And I mean, we can even see Diff trying to get the shots. Not able to land it yet, but going to throw down the trophy. But good reply coming back here from Snooki. So, again, they are just winning these gunfights left, right, and center right now. Snooki to see if he can get himself a double. Nade getting thrown. Nothing connected, but he's actually going to hit the grave. So now Zapio, he even misses his shot too.
This is so mixy on the point. You still have Rek holding things down, but he's going to have to continue to hold, and the pincer will eventually be enough for Newberry to break on. Only 17 seconds to gain off of this, though, so they're already going to have to hit that rotation. Luckily, you have KB with the foresight to do that, but does he expect Gunny to be in his back line here? The shot's being fired, and Gunny is going to dip, dive, and dodge as we try and see who is going to get control of this next hard point. Gunny is absolutely frying. 9 and 4. He's going to secure the hard point for his squad. Now the Screamin' Demons once again just have to hold, and they have been great at that thus far.
Yeah, and look at the rotates coming in too. I mean, Newberry have so far to go, and now they have to get these kills. They have to be able to find some execution on this, and time is ticking away here, and you can just see that the Screaming Demons, they have taken this territory from themselves, now getting a little bit overwhelmed, but it's a good trade back and forth from Stuki, but you can still see Gunny, he's actually going to get taken out too!
And Diff is opening the site for his squad. That's Newberry funneling on into the point. Now, again, they just have to hold those kills out of Cells are going to be huge.
Oh.
That's 3 on the board out of him to kick things off. 4P5 and 19 seconds left on the board for him to try and soak up. Will eventually fall, but you still have KB on the point. The next set of rotations coming online, and it looks like Newberry has the early rotate, but they have a lot of pressure being felt from the Screamin' Demons.
Man, this is just so amazing here from Screaming Demons. They just take so much control of this. Now Newberry finally going to be able to get themselves a little bit of a reply back here. Cell's able to tuck down. Zapio, nades coming in, getting contested just a little bit. Overwhelmed maybe? No! Not at all! And it's just a good shutdown coming in.
Oh, but the break coming in out of the Screamin' Demons, at least for the temporary meantime, as Diff will eventually shut that down, regain control of the point. Still a lot of time to be soaked up here. If Newberry can hold this, they can very easily take the lead in Screamin' Demons, though. They do have a potential pincer and lots of kills entering the feed for them. It's just going to be Diff all alone on the point, and he's going to have to pull off a heroic effort here to hold this thing down. Will not be enough as Rek coming in from the back lines, finds one, finds two, finds the third, and there you have it. Eternal will eventually find the sweep, but again, it's going to be a heroic effort here out of Newberry if they want to hold.
Man, that's exactly what they needed. They needed somebody to step up quick, and there it is. That triple from Rek is huge. It just locks it down. Zapio able to find himself 2 heads for the price of 1, and now even Stuki with the trade back. This is just going back and forth, man. We are on a teeter-totter right now, and you can even see Stuki right now leading the server with 18 and 14. Close behind, though, but sells. He's not able to sell anything yet.
Yeah, the thing that's setting the Screaming Demons apart at this point is just the rotations, the way that they have been doing it so ahead of time to set up for new. Each and every new hardpoint that comes online, it feels like we're saying that they have control of it, and really it comes down to Newberry's breaks here, and when Cells is in your backline, he's going to very easily find those breaks. Still, the spawn's going the way of Screaming Demons, so he has to wait for those reinforcements to come in, and they have to hold this hardpoint here and now. Newberry trying to soak up the time, and it's looking real good, but Rek has something to say.
Yeah, the rotates are coming back in, so right now for Newberry, they're going to have to get themselves, locking things down just a little bit. You can see now the spawns are coming through, and now it's going to be back tied to a 161. Now the lead's coming back through for Newberry, but Cells, he's not able to find that shot.
Oh, but the pincer there is going to be huge. Newberry will hold on for the scrap. The next rotation, though, is going to be online, and you have Newberry playing up very far from the hard point. As KB, the lone player over towards New, is going to have to try and find something. Not going to be much going there, as Zapio will come sliding through, finding the kill to go. And the Screamin' Demons look to have New online, ready to go, but Newberry, once again, they're starting to apply that pressure down main, and you see Diff is going to pop off for 2. New hardpoint online. Newberry, though, have the personnel advantage towards.
Man, but again, we could just see right now, Newberry, they're able to find these 2 kills. This is going to be good. Diff's able to come from the back. He's able to get the good stab. Finds himself. Ooh. Oh my god, a second. No, he's just going to wound 2, but it's just not enough yet. Now the lead's coming back through for the Screaming Demons. Still getting defensive here, but who's going to be able to make the shot? Zapio, he's just scrambling and looking around.
Partner, this is so back and forth. Newberry, they'll look to have the hold for the scrap, as the Screaming Demons will not be trying to apply pressure for this. So we now turn our attention over towards the next hardpoint. And again, Screaming Demons, they have that early rotate. You have Stuki and Gunny setting up the trophies, setting up and ready to go for this next hardpoint. Diff going to be the first line of offense in. Immediately gets taken out, sent 6 feet under. Screaming Demons looking strong with the new hardpoint online. They have the fortification to go as well. They have those spawns additionally added on top of it. Newberry looking for a break.
Yeah, this is such a good setup. The fact that they had the spawns and they were able to get themselves a good setup into this is huge, but it's good trades coming back, though. I was thinking that maybe Newberry is going to be able to win these differences, and it looked like it could be, but it's just trades left, right, and center again. But it's now going to be full control for the Screaming Demons, staying alive as much as possible. Cells, he's just wounded. He's limping right now. Finally gets a little bit of recomposure, looking to see what we can do. And man, this thing's going to be 220 already for Screaming Demons.
Newberry is going to have to pull something off here. Rek is going to make it that much harder. 25 seconds needed. So the Screaming Demons, they cannot win it off of this hard point. They're going to have to hit the left foot, right foot express over towards P5, which is where Newberry is going to occupy, at least for the time being. All the scrap will go their way, and it looks like they'll enter with only single-digit points required to take this hard point. That means that Newberry is going to have to play this picture perfect from this point forward.
Yeah, look at this, 242 to 197 now, so you could see that Newberry, they're getting themselves into this new hard point. This is going to be good, but they're going to have to hold on as long as possible. That's going to be a decent start, but it's not a kill. It's just wounding players, but Rek, again, becoming a hero.
Rek is showing up and showing out, creating openings for his squad as the Screaming Demons come screaming on into the hard point, but they're gonna have to find the kills to go. Rek and Stuki will do just that. The kills will justify and the feed those spawns. Not looking good for Newberry College whatsoever, and the Screaming Demons are gonna take map 1.
Whoo-wee, man, what a crazy first way to start things off. 250 to 214, and I mean, the fact that we saw Screaming Demons just take it like that, I mean, we got to talk about Rek, man. That guy is a menace. He was able to find himself a triple. He had himself a 5K spree. Like, this guy was just popping heads.
Yeah, man, head on a swivel there. Look at that, 28 and 22 as well. 20 of those kills being non-traded. That man was such a huge cog in the machine for the Screamin' Demons as they enter the next map, up 1-0 in the series. And one of the things, again, that we talked about throughout the duration of the map was the fact that they had those rotations going their way each and every time, and it ultimately did just come down to that. In the grand scheme of things, you gotta hit those rotations a lot quicker if you are Newberry College. The Screamin' Demons come into this knowing that they are the underdog, knowing that they are going to have to play with their head in the future, not necessarily in the present as well. And they do just that, 250 to 214, but it was close.
No, it definitely was really close. And I mean, that's the thing. I definitely agree with you. I think the rotations were just a little bit off right now for Newberry. I mean, it kind of felt like they were just a second or two behind. We're Screaming Demons. They already had themselves good setups. They did trophy placements. Their positioning was just a little bit better. So that's what kind of gave them that edge. And I mean, again, we were talking about the stats. Rec was finishing things off with a 28 and 22. And then even like Stuckey right behind him with 25. So I mean, both these guys combined, they're almost pushing 50 frags, which is pretty insane when you think about it.
Yeah, no, their respawn is a little bit scary if you want to say that. But that being said, we now enter map number 2. That's Karachi S&D. And you talked about it in the early part of the show, partner. Newberry College is very scary on S&D.
Man, they are. I mean, the fact that, you know, earlier on they were able to find themselves some pretty big wins. I mean, they pretty much either get like 6-0, 6-1s, or I mean, they had a close loss, which was a 6-5 against Little Timmy's, which was out in the early pool. But I mean, again, it's just Newberry's crazy. Like, they're so scary on this. So I don't know what Screaming Demons are going to do with this one.
Yeah, no, and again, you're up in the series, so if you can take this, you take the entire series as it is a best of 3 to kick things off. But again, we talk about it with Newberry College. They've already made their names known in the S&D space, so it kind of makes an interesting look for that Karachi hardpoint that we could potentially see, as Screaming Demons did take the first hardpoint. But again, Newberry looking to create some or generate some momentum here, and they'll have to do it on the start with the defense.
Yeah, a little bit more riding now, so things are going to slow down just a lot more, obviously, from the previous game mode of a hard point. But this is where, I mean, this is where we can see a little bit of retaliation coming back here from Newberry. This is where they could bring things back, but again, man, it's just, it's Screaming Demons. They do have that momentum that they were able to get themselves the first map.
Yeah, the game mode might be slowing down, but Eternal sure as hell is not. First kill on the board, he got very aggressive in the early phase of this map, and that creates an interesting scenario for the Screaming Demons, as they now have a player personnel disadvantage. And the way that things are set up, Newberry using the high ground of this map so very well to create a lot of discomfort for the Screaming Demons. That being said, though, Stuckey will find one off cam. Cells, his position is known as well. Things evened out for the Screaming Demons, though.
Yeah, this is good from Cells, though. I mean, the fact that he's, like, repositioning himself pretty quickly, and I mean, he knows his position was compromised, and this is good. Oh, he got the information. He gets the kill, and that's going to be the bomb down, too. That's huge. Looking to find a second. Oh, my goodness, Cells. Okay, he's doing good work already. A good response back, and now it's just Stuckey.
Stuckey in a 1v3 situation. The bomb is down as well, so a lot that he is going to have to do if he wants to take this round. Rival 9 in hand, and not a lot of information on where these players are playing from. Again, Newberry using the high ground to such good measures here. 2 players right around the corner. Does he anticipate it is the question here, and Stuckey just running around like a chicken with his head cut off, doesn't know where anything is. Time ticking into red, and now just running into the blender, maybe making me eat my words. No, Cells will close. Newberry College will take the first round to kick things off, and again, that S&D prowess it's showing early.
Yeah, it really is, and I mean, that is honestly a big play from Cells. I mean, this is going to be, like, obviously a little bit of a quick highlight, but the repositioning, the fact that he's able to get that kill with the bomber, I mean, that's huge. I mean, that's already a lot of impact that we were talking about, so this is a good start for Newberry to get themselves a lot more comfortable. They know they're in familiar waters right now, so we're starting to see that.
It should be interesting to see how this map does play out as well. It almost feels like a defensive-sided map when you think about it, because of all the elevation, because of all the different angles that the defensive players can hold. And you saw Cells with the cutoff over towards that B bomb site. I mean, it was really hard for Screaming Demons to really do anything in those circumstances. So this one's going to just run straight down, though. Stuckey, 2 kills on the board, will win that engagement. Gunny with a 3rd, and the Screaming Demons are continuing to fry, picking up right where they left off after that hard point. Is Diff, the last player standing.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the 1v3, making it a 1v2 right now, but I mean, this is the thing. He's going to have to now light things up. He's going to have to be lights out right now. He's got a little bit of time to work with. He's still got a minute and 25, but now he's just kind of, scavenging, looking around to see what he can find, and you can see the positioning right now from Screaming Demons. Not too bad, but the fact that Diff's able to get some pretty good real estate right now, this could be costly right now for the Demons if they're not careful, but just kidding. They're ready.
Yeah, you don't want to bring a pistol to an AR fight, that's for sure.
That's just not a good time.
Again, things getting evened out here. That was a little bit more of a just rush assault kind of round, but still the defensive round does go the way of the Screaming Demons to tie things up. And just as we continue to see this map play out, does feel like it is geared towards that defensive side. Gonna come down to who can take that first attack around, it feels like.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it's starting to feel like you said, I think that was such a good point, is like the high elevation, the different angles you can have as defense just makes such a difference right now, making it way harder for the attacking side. But I love that last round. I love that we got to see that full aggression from Screaming Demons. They just came in, guns blazing, man. They're just winning those duels, opening within, what, like 20 seconds? Just mayhem.
Yeah, no, and this is going to continue to be mayhem as they're just sending it straight down main. Coming to a little bit of a lull here. Both squads trying to figure out who's going to make that first mistake here. The setup for the Screamin' Demons, though, is starting to look like it's going to go towards that B bomb site. They have a little bit of elevation to work with as well. Rex spotting out Eternal, and that's going to be the first kill on the board for the Screamin' Demons. That's going to provide a little bit of room for them to work with here over towards that B bomb site. But that being said, bomb is down, so they're going to have to be able to recover it. Rec will find the kill to do so. Now that B site open.
Oh, and he gets caught with the nade out too, so KB's already down, but a good trade coming back in here from Diff, and he's trying to see what else he can do, but Screaming Demons, again, they're going to take this, and they will get themselves in a nice little bit of a 2-1, but man, this is competitive. Like, we were talking about that in the beginning. We knew that this should be a close game and a decent bit of a lineup, and it's already panned out well.
Yeah, it is looking great. Screamin' Demons now have the advantage, though, as they did take that first attacker side round that we talked about, so now it looks really interesting again with the series being in their favor thus far. If they can hold momentum here, Newberry could find themselves with their back against the wall.
Well, and that's what I was talking about, momentum too, right? I mean, Screaming Demons, I mean, the fact they were able to get the first map, they were able to get themselves a decent start, a close game nonetheless, but they're still able to pan through. This can make things really different, and I mean, smack talking, you know, a little bit of confidence is starting to build up, and there's the first blood, and Gunny, he starts things off well.
Oh, that's a big first blood, as that's the bomb down. So now they have a little bit of information on where Newberry is trying to work towards as well. Zappia will find another. But that A bomb site is going to be where the bomb goes down. KB will be able to secure that plant. Still Newberry working in a 2v4 situation. Diff might have a potential cutoff here. Trigger Discipline does not go, though, when it comes down to KB. 1v3 trying to slide around, but it's not going to be enough, as the Screamin' Demons will find the round once again, and back-to-back they go for their third round.
Man, this is kind of shocking, though. I'm going to be honest. I mean, I had nothing against Screaming Demons by any means, but I was thinking that Newberry were going to come in, trying to make a bit of a statement, you know, and this was going to be more of like bolts of the cranium, right? But this is where Screaming Demons, they're taking this thing with quite a bit of an ease right now, 3-1. Like, this is looking really good for them, and we're going to have to see something really, really different. Newberry do get to go on the defense now, so this is where we talked about, we think the advantage could be here, but we're going to have to see it now. We need somebody to pop off.
Just feels like the Gunny on the side of Screamin' Demons has just been better all around thus far, and Newberry has to pick up in that regard, but Screamin' Demons, they have the opportunity to set the pace here on the attacker side as well. KB, though, is going to try and set it right back. First kill on the board. He'll peek out, get the kill off onto Stuckey. Finds the advantage for Newberry College, finds that bomb down as well, and now it just comes down to making sure you don't make any further mistakes if you're Newberry.
Yeah, this is good repositioning that you see from KB. He doesn't even try to go for the fight again. He just plays patient. He wants to be a bit more disciplined on this. This is a good play right now. Instead of being greedy and just trying to get all the frags, he's going to play way more disciplined, which is really important in this situation, because right now, Screaming Demons, they're down to the 2 players, making it a 1, but it's Gunny. He's somebody that's been able to put up some big numbers, but he's got a big task ahead of him.
Oh, 1v4 for him, and when Eternal is popping off the way that he is, it's not going to be an easy one. In your backlines as well as KB just chasing right after you. That bomb is not attainable whatsoever if you're Gunny. Recognizing that, he's going to play over towards A. And this is interesting out of Newberry. They're sending a player over towards the site, trying to hunt him down. Obviously, they do have that player personnel advantage in the grand scheme of things, but you could just let Gunny sort of come to you. Again, with that bomb down in mid, it's not a lot that you have to do if you're Newberry here to secure the round.
No, I mean, he's still got a bit of time to work with, right? I mean, he's got 40 seconds, so he's got a little bit of fruitful picking, but he's going to have to make sure he's not too hesitant on this right now. But the fact that he's already made his way into this site, still just scoping things out, he might be able to find this player just above him. I don't even know why Diff can't hear this. Diff, you need to look on your side, bro, but he's down. And now making it a 1v2, things are getting interesting.
Very interesting, but time is potentially the third player here for Newberry. Is 17 seconds left on the board for Gunny to make his move. That bomb is still down, and the peak is going to come through. The shots will as well. None of them connecting. Gunny just has to run. There's not much that you can do in that spot as Newberry eventually find the round, allowing Gunny to just kind of come to them. At the end of it, Eternal, who else but Eternal to finish things off? We talked about Newberry needing a gunny player to shine through, and 3 kills on that round will be enough to do that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Eternal played that so well. I mean, just kind of waiting things out, and even just did the jiggle peek, just tried to go, you know, a little tenderizing, and he's like, yeah, I'm here, and then he has to distract them. So, well, looks like, okay. All right, well, that's a little awkward, but that's okay. We'll wait it out.
I'm sure we'll resume at 3-2 as that was the scoreline. And I guess some things never change. Even with a new Call of Duty, you're going to have some lobby issues here and there. I'm assuming that might be what it is. And just in general, tech issues are a thing, especially with Call of Duty. God.
Yeah, it happens. It happens, right? It's esports. It's all good. It's all good.
But the interesting thing about that is just the momentum now in the court of Newberry after they picked up that round. They generated a little bit of momentum there. Interesting to see if that tech pause, though, might kind of throw a fork in the road.
Yeah, definitely. I honestly think like this is a good moment right now for both these teams to kind of reset, get themselves in different positions, because this pause is going to slow down momentum. Like Newberry do have that slight advantage right now with winning the round. They're feeling a little bit good, but also Screamin Demons, they can kind of figure things out what they want to do a little bit differently, but also Newberry, they get an opportunity to figure out what they want to change up as well, because they know they're not being as dominant as they were in the groups, right? I mean, the pool is totally different results. Yeah. So I think this is a unique opportunity for both these teams.
And I think the thing that we're really looking for out of Newberry is for them to find an attacker side round. And if Eternal can get that aggressive on defense, I'm looking for him to get aggressive on offense. I haven't really seen it out of him. And where I have seen it, it really hasn't worked in his favor. So if he can get active, they need to take an attacker side round regardless of how this shakes out. So that's really what we're going to be looking for out of them when we enter again back into Karachi, is that attacker side round. Can they grab it, or is it just going to be defensive side rounds, and can Screamin Demons hold on to that? That is really the big question at this point in that map.
No, definitely. And I think the other thing, too, is kind of isolating Gunny, too, right? I mean, Gunny right now is putting his high numbers up in the server. So I think, you know, if we can see him getting neutralized a little bit, that could change things around a little bit here, too. But that's the thing. We just need to see some of these players that we know can pop off. They're going to need to do it now, because tensions are getting a lot more high, and Screamin Demons, they already have themselves the one map advantage, and it is a BO3, just for people to understand. So these are going to be quick games. This isn't a BO5 or anything like long like that. It's kind of like it can be done and dusted here pretty fast if they don't get their control back.
Yeah, no, and again, we enter this matchup. We were talking about Newberry having the advantage. It started off on that hard point. I mean, Newberry did not necessarily look the same as we saw in pool play, and Screamin Demons, they took advantage of it and had those rotations to go, as we talked about, taking it 250 to 214. Again, up 3-2 as we're on a tech pause right now and trying to get everything sorted. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome in once again. It's the launch day, day 2 of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Game Arena launch event, and it's a fantastic opportunity to be here alongside Laz. It is so much fun, but nonetheless, both of these teams, again, just Newberry not showing up in the same way that we necessarily expect.
No, definitely not. And for anybody that is just tuning in right now, I mean, this is where, you know, we were talking about this in the pre-show, that we were saying that Newberry in the pool, they were 3-0. They were essentially just menaces right now. And S&D was definitely their side, where they were like making statements, taking names, and chewing some bubblegum, because that's what they were doing. But right now, Screamin Demons, they do have themselves in the 3-2 position, and they already have the map. So this is where the pressure is starting to cook a lot more.
Yeah, no, just for everybody who's at home right now, it's 3-2, Screamin Demons, so ignore that score column. Of course, we'll keep you honest at home, and Newberry now on the attacker side. We talked about it very briefly, partner. They have to find an attacker side round. It has been not easy going for them whatsoever. Part of that just feels like Screamin Demons and their aggressiveness down mid, and we're seeing a lot of it as well. Can Newberry capitalize on this? That is the question, as Eternal will find kills, but checkerboarding in the feed. Zapio finds another, and it comes down to a 2v2 situation. Still Newberry, bomb in hand. It's not a catastrophe just yet.
No, definitely not. I mean, the bomb, that's kind of been the tail of the tape so far, as the bomb's been down so many times in these worst positions. So the fact that it's still in control right now for Newberry, that's a good note for them. So, I mean, it is the 2-2 Screamin Demons. Never mind, they're going to lose their player, so now it's down to Gunny. I talked a lot about what he can do. He's been able to put up some decent numbers, but now he's got himself a task of a 1-on-2.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity for Gunny to prove himself here, and it's a great opportunity for Newberry to capitalize on the way that they've set up this round. That bomb down over towards A as well, and the pincer setup that they have developing here. Gunny is going to have a tall task ahead of him, making his entrance over towards that A site, jumping down. Here's the footsteps, but Diff is looking diffy on those shots. Newberry College tying things up 3-3.
Yeah, this is such a good amount of work coming in from Diff right now. Just look at that. Even the jumping coming in from Gunny, you can see he was trying to get a little bit cheeky, but the positioning was just a little bit better from Diff. Love that. And now it is going to be a tie, like you said, a 3-3, switching sides over. And this is where we were talking a lot about the attacking side seems to be kind of the big question mark, the head scratcher a little bit. So now, Screamin Demons, they're going to try it out.
Yeah, ball in their court here. What can they do? That is the question. They took their last attacker side round, so now the turns are definitely starting to table. Question is where they're going to go with this. And if it's over towards that B side, Newberry, 3 players set up over there. The setup is looking real good. Stookie taking point over towards the point. Not a lot of early information.
Yeah, no first blood either, so things are really just slowed down a little bit. Now a little bit more patience on this. Things are getting tense. I mean, we talked about this. This is 3-3, so now things are starting to get a little bit real right now. Waiting things out, good nades coming in, and that's going to be the first start right there from Newberry. They're able to find themselves 2.
I do not like the positioning out of Screamin Demons here. They're in a complete blender. Zappio is just trying to fight his way out of it, but all of them were just kept up in that building, and that's where Newberry was able to capitalize. Zappio will find that first, though. So things are still manageable. That being said, the split as well for the Screamin Demons. Zappio is going to have to hit the left foot right express to join his buddy Gunny over towards that A site. Newberry, though, reading into this fully.
Yeah, and there's only 26 seconds left too here, so this is where they got to make this decision quick. And I mean, they have to get this ball moving. They got to get into a site, and they have to worry about 3 other players here from Newberry that are going to be on the other side, and it's going to be Gunny. He's able to get that entry, so now they should be able to get this bomb down. Trophy's going to get thrown. They got themselves in the plant situation, but you can see Newberry. They're coming in quick. Oh my God! No way! Newberry's able to find that round win.
And that was Eternal just putting them on skates there. Look at this out of him jumping through the building. It's your worst nightmare. Eternal coming through hot. What a play out of him. What a round out of Newberry as they take the lead 4-3. And that could not have fallen apart quicker for Screamin Demons. And again, it all just started with them being bunched up in that building the way they were.
Yeah, and I mean, Diff and Eternal right now, they're both sitting at 3-0. Both these guys have a 3-kill streak right now. I mean, the only difference is that Diff, he's just kind of being a little bit different right now. And the only player really that's putting up numbers is Zappio here from Screamin Demons, where we saw that earlier, where it was Rec that was able to, find these multi-kill rounds. So this is where we need to see Screamin Demons kind of get back into their normal fashion.
Oh, and it's going to be very difficult when Cells finds that first kill onto your best fragger in this iteration of the map here. Cells just set up so well again with that verticality that this map affords you to just completely blend the Screamin Demons up. Next man up is going to be Gunny. It's the lurk play here, and 3 kills enter the feed. Off cam, Stookie pops off for 2. And in a blink, a moment's notice, it comes down to your star player Eternal if you're Newberry College. Still has that bomb in hand, making his way over towards A.
Yeah, and he's still got 37 seconds to work with here too, so it's not like he's got a ton of time, but he's going to activate the dead silence right now, so this is good. So now he can be a little bit more quiet on this, but we're going to have to see what he can work with. Spots Gunny, but he's able to win that fight!
Gunny, once again, this man time and time again will live up to his namesake. He's got the Gunny to go. Such a good lurk play out of him as well on the defensive side, holding strong over towards that point. Knowing that his other teammates are over towards the B side, is going to hold A down all on his own. For his team, another round, 4-4 between these two squads. It is neck and neck.
I mean, and I was a little bit worried for Gunny too. I mean, that positioning looked a little bit off. Like, he looked like he was trying to just get some information. He was exposing himself a lot, but hey, it's still going to work. Fox in the pen, and now things are working out. But like you said, it's a 4-4, so things are getting right down tooth and nail. Only need a couple more rounds to go here for this to be the deciding. It's a 2-0. We're pushing it to a map 3, but Zappio starts things off.
Wreck as well, another kill on the board, checkerboarding out, but it ultimately grants the Screamin Demons a player personnel advantage. Bomb is down, they will have to recover that. A very key play there out of Zappio, but he's not going to be able to find the kill off onto Eternal. Great pincer move out of Newberry to even things out in terms of the personnel. And again, the bomb is down for the Screamin Demons. It's going to be very hard for them to set the pace of the rest of the round with that in mind. The way Eternal is situated as well, looking really, really good over towards that bomb. But that being said, his partner Diff will drop in action. It does come down to a 1v2, and you see the difference in what Eternal has to play with here, giving up that bomb. Now, ball in his court. What will he do? He's going towards the wrong site.
Yeah, it's not a good start so far, but I mean, again, it's a big risk, right? He has to kind of figure out something. He's trying to see just, eliminate all the options, but now he realizes, okay, it's at the A site. I got myself a bit of a sprint here, and I got only a little bit of time to work with. But if he can find one of these one-on-one engagements, you can see the barrel. This is big. This could be big, but he loses it.
No way! There is no way that happened the way that it did. Screamin' Demons on match point in series point. I just want to see this out of Rec. Hold on. The turn and burn. The turtle will drop. And now it comes down to this round here. Either Screamin' Demons can take it here and now and go on to face the winner of Imperial and Sponsorless, or Newberry College can bring us to OT. But they're going to have to go through an attacker side round. And partner, we've talked about how hard those are at nauseum.
Yeah, we have talked about this a lot, but there's a reason we're talking about this a lot too. It's just not been easy for both these teams. But I mean, we're about to find out. It's right down to this, like you said, the moment of truth to see what can happen. And now we need to see somebody be the tip of the spear and, be able to get themselves something. KB hasn't been able to find himself a kill yet since we've been back. It's been rough. And now Stooky able to get the first blood.
And this is big out of Stooky as he's the lone player over towards that B site. He's going to find that first kill to go. And Newberry, if they head over towards A, they're going to be running into a mincer as all of the Screamin' Demons are situated over there. And it looks like that might be what they're doing. The rotation, this is so big out of Stooky to kick off the round as it completely turns Newberry's strategy on its head. That being said, KB will find one to even things out. Zapio now in the backlines, though, is continuing to fry, get some good damage to go. Cells will find another, though, for Newberry College, and that completely turns things on its head potentially here. They do have to get that bomb down, though, with 26 seconds left.
Yeah, it's a good kill coming in from Cells right now, too. So now things are going to get a little bit more problematic. And now they got to get only 19 seconds remaining here to get this bomb down. They're going to have to find themselves in the site. They should be able to get the plant just in good time. But now, what do we see from Rec? This is somebody now on a 1v3 and needing to come alive big.
He's bringing a pistol to the gunfight. Luckily, he does switch to the MCW, but the question is, does he check the corner? He does not. Newberry College will bring us to a round 11 in the S&D, and Cells in this round. What can be said about him that hasn't been said already? I believe it was 3 kills on the round for him, if not an ace, and he was just having his way with the map.
This has really been Cells' map. I mean, this is where, his positioning has been such a big difference maker. Sitting at 7-4 right now. We talked about this earlier on before we had the bit of a break. I mean, he was somebody that was able to get a good start here from Newberry, and now he's kind of pulling in the clutch factor when they need to. So a little bit of a rude awakening right now for Screamin' Demons.
Now it comes down to this, an attacker side round for the Screamin' Demons, and Eternal's going to get a little bit lit up, but he'll still find his positioning over towards that B site, and that positioning is going to be a matter of this. It could be very huge, but if he gets knocked off of it, that site opens up completely for the Screamin' Demons to find their way on in.
And look at how much it's slowing down, too. I mean, like you said, Eternal was getting lit up, but everything's all good now, but no first blood yet. Everybody's still alive and waiting things out a little bit more. Screamin' Demons kind of taking their time on this. They want to have the pace of attack on this, letting them cook a little bit. But what are they going to do? So much hesitation, but now they're slipping their way through. Zapio's gone.
The execute is huge, but still, you have Eternal to deal with in your backlines, and you're dropping one by one if you're the Screamin' Demons. It just comes down to Stooky, a 1v4 for him in the final round, and some way, somehow, this has slipped away for Newberry. 26 seconds, and he has to just hit the dirt, not going to be able to center for the shots. And Newberry, we talked about their S&D prowess, and it shows down the stretch. They take it 6-5 in round 11. We go to Hardpoint, map number 3.
Oh man, I just cannot believe we got to see that. I mean, that's huge from Newberry. I mean, they got tested fully and they were able to come back. The clutch factor was just something off the charts, and there we go. We can see the stats are going to be pulled up here a little bit too, and we talked about, what both these teams were bringing. But again, I got to talk about Cells. He was the one guy for me that was just pulling up so much impact.
Oh yeah, no, Cells was just on another level, especially in that round that forced us to that round number 11. He was running an invisibility cloak. I don't even know if they have that in this game, but he somehow found it, equipped it, and was just going off. They had no clue where he was playing from whatsoever, and such a standout player on the side of the Newberry College team. And Now we go into a respawn once again where we saw the Screamin' Demons. They were really good on invasion, really good on those rotates. But I think that is something that Newberry College is potentially going to capitalize on and maybe catch on to. And I'm interested to see what their strategy is on Karachi Hardpoint, given the fact that they have that information now of how the Screamin' Demons are going to play.
No, definitely. And I think the fact that we're playing the exact same map, but just like a different game mode could actually change things up just a little bit too, because like you said, both these teams just played it, but I think this is also not a bad thing here for Newberry because they just were able to pull the clutch factor. They got themselves a 6-5, but they're feeling really, really good about what they're able to do to bring this thing to a map 3. But yeah, I mean, this is where now we're going to have to see again if momentum can be a factor in this or if things are going to be starting from scratch.
Well, folks, it comes down to this. Map number 3, Karachi Hardpoint, coming up after the break. We're going to send it to a quick one, but don't go anywhere. The day is still young. We have a lot of MW3 action coming your way. Folks, it comes down to this. Newberry College versus Screamin' Demons is in map 3. It's Karachi Hardpoint coming up, and both of these teams, they've exchanged their blows between each other, but the Screamin' Demons did manage to take that first respawn. That being said, Newberry just took the first Karachi, so it's a back and forth affair here, partner, but both of these teams have a reason to be here in map 3.
Yeah, I mean, this thing has been pushed the distance, and we were kind of wondering because we thought that Screamin' Demons maybe would have been able to put up a 2-0, and they almost did it. But I mean, the fact is that Newberry came in and they came back with a clutch and they brought it with a 6-5. So I mean, this is the thing. It came right down to the wire, but now we're on map number 3, like you said.
And still lots of great Call of Duty action coming your way. Not only are we going to be covering another series, but of course, we also have the cast-off, which will feature 6 other casting duos taking the desk at various points here today. Want to take a quick moment, though, to thank the Screamin' Demons, who are one of the sponsors for this cast-off, allowing us to do what we are doing here. Established in 2023, you can check their socials here. They're veteran-owned, gamer-operated as well. Hashtag We Are Legion. The Screamin' Demons looking to advance further into this bracket. Newberry College looking to apply some resistance, utilize a little bit of that momentum that they just generated. And again, lads, we talked about it. It's so back and forth between these two teams, so neck and neck in every way imaginable. You don't know who's going to take this.
No, you have no idea. And like you said, I mean, we're talking about Screamin' Demons a lot for their big support, and of course, a huge shout out to them, like you said. But I mean, the thing is I got to shout out their rotates, man. I mean, they were all over that in the first map, and I think that's, again, what just separated them to get that 250 to the 214. So that's where we're going to have to see if Newberry, they're going to be able to react to this quick enough. I mean, we've been having a lot of high-packed action going on here so far, but that was the success point here for Screamin' Demons, is the fact that they were able to just manipulate the map. They knew exactly what to do, but now we're going things into this one more time. It is going to be Hardpoint.
Well, P1 is online, and it's going to be an all-out rush over towards the midpoint of the map. Rubble, here we go. Both of these teams going for early blows. KB will find the first on the board. Diff as well, setting up in the high ground, and that's going to grant Newberry the first hard point on that map. And this is looking real good with their setup as well. Obviously, don't want to sell your soul on P1 in any map, but you also want to get those early rotations. Rec finally firing back, but it's not going to be enough. Newberry looking good.
Yeah, this is looking really good right now. They're going to get themselves a decent start, but now Screamin' Demons getting themselves a little bit more contention in this, but it's short-lived. Still Newberry, they're just racking up points. Good frags coming in, and KB sitting at a 3-0 so far. He hasn't even been taken down once yet. It finally gets put down as a kind of caster curse him, I guess.
Now, the interesting thing about this is the fact that Screamin' Demons, they do not have the spawns, but once again, we talked about those rotations. They have them. We were wondering, Newberry, are they going to hit those rotations early? Thus far, does not look like it. Screamin' Demons, with 15 seconds on the last hardpoint, are making their way in. The thing that sets Newberry apart, though, has been those breaks, and Screamin' Demons, though, are going to hold strong off the back of Zapio. 2 kills on the board for him. Rec will find 3, and that is looking good for Screamin' Demons, who are trying to get their way back into the early game.
Well, this was Newberry's success on S&D, right? It was map control, just having the rotates and good positioning, but now things are changed up a little bit with the different game mode, and this is where, you know, Screamin' Demons, they love this, and this is where they change into a whole other animal right now, and now they've put themselves in just 1 point differential, and Newberry are finally starting to get themselves a little bit of a claw back, but the trades are coming in, but Eternal able to find himself a beautiful kill.
When it comes to Newberry, it feels like the breaks are ultimately inevitable, but the rotations out of Screamin Demons, again, it's just going to come down to what happens first, the rotate or the break. Newberry will find the extra scrap, and they're applying the pressure over towards New. When Zappio is back and forth, putting you on skates, there is nothing that you can do whatsoever. They're single-handedly securing P3. But again, you have Cells in the high ground here, applying that pressure. Newberry breathing down your neck. You gotta hold if you're the Screamin Demons.
Yeah, this is where you need to just get yourself back into contention here. I mean, 46, 47, now we're just talking about 10 points of a difference, and it's going to be nice for Stuki. That's what he needed. You need to be able to get these kills and win this. He's locking it down. He is single-handedly holding this thing together, and look at another one!
Wreck is holding down, Gunny is holding down. The Screamin Demons are demons on this map, on these rotations. Newberry hasn't broken in once, and we talked about their breaks being a key to their game, but Stuki is continuing to hold down the hill. Now it starts, the rotation begins. Newberry College on top of it this time, but you only have Diff and KB in the point, and you look at that map, it is surrounding you. The Screamin Demons are.
They're in this site, and this is good. Diff, a little bit of trigger discipline, waiting things out. Just trying to, you know, again, inspect what is around, but now it's starting to Screamin Demons. So with the big lead here, coming back into their territory again, man. They just seem to get themselves like a magnet. They're on top of this quick. Now they're able to put themselves close to 90, but it's a little bit short-lived, and that's going to be huge from Newberry with 3, making it a 4th.
And that's a full site break-in. Again, Newberry, they have those breaks to go, and now it's just about fortifying on this point. Those spawns not very favorable for Screamin Demons as they're going to try and look for a break-in. KB with 1, KB with 2, Diff with the 3rd, and Newberry look to have this thing on lockdown. KB another kill, bringing out the pistol, and all the Medea method will work. The Screamin Demons are going to have to hit their early rotate, the patented one that we've seen time and time again. But the pressure already being applied by Newberry. They're already on setup for New, and it's going to come down to these kills.
And it is. I mean, that's the thing. We talked about their map rotations are just key. That's been the big success point for these guys, and they're already on top of it. Now, it's just a matter if they can hold things down and they can, you know, get that amount of points in their favor. But it looks like they are going to get things. It's tied back up at 91s, and Div's trying to be able to find something, but the duels are just not going their way at all right now. Screamin Demons, they're leading this charge just slightly, and they're winning duels with Cells. He's able to make himself get in that 10 digits now.
Newberry has to stop taking these 1v1s, 1v2s. They have to enter as a unit, and that looks to be exactly what they are doing now. Cells early on into the point of Zappio will cut him down, but Newberry respond with 3 across the board here. Just 1 player left lurking in the site. Gunny gets sent out. Newberry once again on the point, looking to collect that scrap, would go ahead if things hold the way that they are. And it doesn't look like the Screamin Demons are going to apply a lot of pressure over towards this point. It's going to be Stuki, the lone player, going in. The lone warrior trying to get that scrap, will find it. So the Screamin Demons going to hold on to time. But now P1 coming back online, and it comes down to this. The setup is imperative here.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, Newberry are looking so different right now. Since we're at the second time for Hardpoint, they look so much more efficient. They look a lot more clean in what they're trying to do, and the frags are just coming in through the kill feed. You can even see Diff's able to find another backstab. This is good. This is what was different than before. But, I mean, they still are in the deficit, but they're starting to get themselves back into this. They have this Hardpoint for now, but how long can they hold on, Stuki? Oh, man, that's sloppy, but it will work.
Oh, it works. Those slide cancels are absolutely different in this game. Newberry College holding things down over towards P1, and their setup for P1 is so good. They're utilizing that verticality to expertise. Back and forth we go in the feed as the Screamin Demons trying to set up over towards New, trying to get that lockdown again. They have to get back into the mix of this as Newberry College had their way with P1, and on the next rotation, P1 starts to become a real cog in the machine to see how the rest of this map could potentially go. That being said, Newberry going to apply some pressure over towards New. It's just Wreck all alone in this point, and this fight is so massive. Backed up into a corner, will find the first kill on KB, but they just continue to throw bodies. Wreck, though, is a eternal man. He cannot be stopped.
Wreck is just becoming an absolute fiend right now, man. This is what he did in the first map. This is what he was able to do, and now he's starting to shine bright like a star. And right now, they have a lot of work ahead of them. They're still down by 25 points. They're starting to get that climb back in. They're controlling this hard point really well, but it's the heroic play of Wreck that's just been able to solidify that for the time being. Oh, God, okay. Okay, Eternal, we see you.
Eternal still applying the pressure over towards P2, but you see Newberry already on the rotation over towards New. It sells the first line of defense, but Rek just continues to make us sing his name on the cast here. He is unstoppable and has been such a cog in the machine with the Screamin' Demons getting back into the mix of this, now with the lead as well. They have the rotation over towards New, which Newberry was setting up for very early on. Newberry still, again, using that verticality to their advantage, getting the kills to go and breaking seamlessly into the point, just 7 seconds online, and Newberry have it.
Yeah, and this is good. This is what we talked about. We needed to see Newberry getting a little bit more on the capitalization of finding these points and being a little bit more reactive to the spawns, right? And this is what they're doing well. They're finally looking a lot different than what they did in map 1. Stuki taking some good damage though, but I mean, again, he's just being a good distraction. KB, he bites on it and he gets removed. Bullet to the cranium. Now he's done. Now Diff able to find a second and Eternal. He's able to get a third.
The cutoff out of Diff is fantastic, and Eternal is just feeling himself. You can see it in the movement. That man is schmoovin' and grooving on Karachi here. Newberry College now just about to break into that 200-point barrier, and this is where things start to get desperate if you are the Screamin' Demons. As well, Newberry set up for New in such a big way. Screamin' Demons are going to have to get KB out of this point if they want to hold on. This becomes so imperative, and the nade out of Stuki will do just that. Okay, things start to slow down a little bit for the Screamin' Demons. They have some room to breathe, but they have to play this really, really well. Otherwise, Newberry can come screaming right back into this point, and that is where things start to get dire if you are the Screamin' Demons.
Yeah, I mean, they're just locking this down as much as possible, just kind of playing with the door, and even you can see the positioning coming in from Gunny. He's just going back and forth, man. He's just kind of toying with them, but a pistol's going to come out from Diff. Finally gets put down, and now it's Rek again to pull up another heroic play with a double, locking into the site here. 169 to 204. Things are starting to make a bit of a climb back here for Screamin' Demons, but they're going to have to hold on as much as they can. But it's just, again, look at Newberry. Look at Eternal! Look at Eternal!
He is on another level still. The point going the way of the Screamin' Demons, but they're not soaking up the time. Stuki has to clear it all alone. At this point, he's just going to give up on the scrap. The next hard point coming online, the Screamin' Demons, they look to have those rotations once again, but Cells is showing up and showing up huge. 2 kills on the board to set the train over towards New for Newberry College. Continuing to pick up the kills is Diff and Co. And this could be the point for Newberry.
The fact that we're just seeing, again, Newberry just putting up so many more kills this time, it's so much different than before. And again, I have to mention it because this isn't what we saw. Now they're looking a little bit more awake. They're looking a lot more clean. And this is starting to pull up big. Everybody's almost pushing 20, or if not over that right now. But you can see Screamin' Demons, they're just locking this in. This is now a moment where we can get it. Look at the rotates right now. This is such a long stretch right now for Newberry.
This is such a big hill for the Screamin' Demons. They have to soak up every second of this time. Newberry realistically could just start their rotation over towards New, but they're going to apply the pressure, and the pressure is going to be just a bit too much, unless Stuki has something to say about it. 2 kills on the board for him, but no, he will drop. 10 additional seconds being granted the way of Newberry College. They just need 15 more, as P1 just around the corner. We saw what P1 looked like last time. The Screamin' Demons are going to have to play picturesque hardpoint from this point forward.
Well, look at how fast they get back onto this. Like you said, I mean, this is where they just keep manipulating the map. This is what they're doing so well. Now the kills are coming in from Newberry, so now they're able to get themselves into this. They're just soaking up points, and they only need a few more to get the thing done. But now we need to see some kills coming in from Screamin' Demons, but it might be a little too late.
Oh, these kills are going to be massive down the stretch, but Newberry College will hold. And that is going to do it. They advance in the bracket 250 to 207. Again, it was close between these two teams, but Newberry College, we talked about them in the beginning. Their resilience is what sets them apart in the pool play and continues to be what sets them apart on LAN here and now. And you have to talk about Cells in the downstretch of that map. He had so many key kills to set the tone for Newberry College. They take it and they advance further into the bracket.
Yeah, they definitely do. And I mean, a job well done from them too, right? I got to tip the hat to them because, again, like, it was looking a little bit dire in the beginning. We were thinking Screamin' Demons, they were coming in making a statement, but the fact they came back with a 1-0 deficit and then they come and reverse it and just kind of sweep the rug right under them, and they take it with a 2-1. And the fact that they were able to get it with a 250 to 207, that's even an improvement from what we saw on the first map. But like you said, man, this was just a huge amount of work coming in from Cells. He's definitely, for me, the MVP of this BO3.
Oh, 100%. And for the Screamin' Demons as well, like they still look incredible. You cannot undermine what challenge level Newberry College brings to the table. So when you have the Screamin' Demons stacking up the way that they did, obviously don't want to get reverse sweeped, but you still play very close on the S&D. You fall a little bit behind on the hard point, but still, this is a team to definitely look out for in that lower bracket.
No, definitely. I mean, this is the thing too, is, I mean, I know Sells wasn't the one player that was, essentially putting up the biggest amount of numbers. I mean, he was 22 and 18 in that. I mean, Eternal did have 25 and 14, but again, when you talk about impact and you talk about the positioning and kind of, winning these engagements when you need to, it just felt like Sells was all over it every single time. And Screamin' Demons, they just didn't look as, clean as they did before. They didn't look as proficient, but either way, I mean, they are going to get a little bit of a knockback, but that's okay. And like you said, we can see the bracket here. This game now is going to be Screamin' Demons playing against Sponsorless, which is going to be interesting.
Yeah, Newberry College, they go on to take on Imperial in that upper bracket. Their upper bracket hopes are still alive. Both of these teams, though, looking like absolute fiends within this bracket. Imperial is going to be a tall task, though, as they are yet to drop a single map up until this point, at least within the pool play. Obviously, didn't get to see them compete, but no, they did go 2-0 against Sponsorless, so that still stands. They haven't dropped a single map up until this point, are currently 4-0 in the whole entire stretch of everything, so Newberry College definitely has a tall task ahead of them.
No, they really do, but I think this is where we're starting to see, again, they kind of woke up, right? I mean, they lost that first map. They're like, okay, hang on a second, guys. Like, we're better than this. We can do a lot more, right? But it was a close one. Like, it was a 6-5. Like, it wasn't like they pulled up the dominant fashion like I talked about, because for me, I was like, oh, S&D, these guys are just going to mop the floor. They're going to clean this thing up. But Screamin' Demons came in to just make a statement, but unfortunately, just a little bit too short. But we are going to take that short break. We're going to get locked and loaded for the next game. We'll see you in just a few minutes.